guys, welcome to Better Bachelor. My name is Joker with a face for radio and a voice for print. On a stream the other night on movie night over on Locals, we were joking around and I said, I've kind of said everything I need to say. Like there's not much to say anymore. And I've mentioned this in a couple of my videos over here. And somebody said, it'd be fun, go back in time and look at some of your older videos and see what's changed. Have things gotten better? Are they different? I said, you know what? Okay. That sounds like something interesting. So in this video, I'm going to be reviewing myself, ironically. I went back almost exactly 5 years in time. A little shy in that because I'm not quite 5 years old doing this channel. And I said, you know what? Let me grab one of these videos. I'll download it. I'll take the old thumbnail. I'll watch it, and I'll see what's changed. Is society getting different for men? Is it any better? Are people that make fun of men and give us a hard time, are they finally learning their lessons after half a decade? And I pulled up this video, Why won't Hollywood learn? Getting woke, going broke. And two things I realized after watching this for a few minutes. Number one, I've gained a lot of weight. I need to go on a diet. I've gained a lot of weight. Number two, I have a lot of gray in my beard that I didn't have before. And also I need to groom my beard like I had in this video because I like it a lot better. So I've got to let my beard grow out a little bit further. But the third thing and the most important thing is Hollywood still hasn't learned a damn thing, even though they've had 5 years of failing box office and warning and worry. And I'm not sure why. Because you'd think at some point they'd say, hey, we got to turn this around. We got to make some money here. They just can't do it. The message is still more powerful. So I'm going to just play a little bit of a clip from my old video and some of the examples I used in my old video. And then we're going to pull up my my comparisons. And then we're going to pull up some new comparisons and see how things have not changed because women and accountability go together like oil and water. If you haven't seen my new intro, I saw this and I was like, oh, I haven't seen that in a while. Same music because it's awesome. But I forget I made that in DaVinci Resolve and I was very proud of it. I had to turn off comments for a while because there were a ton of trolls that used to jump in and called me misogynistic. Welcome to Better Bachelor. This is Joker. My voice sounded better back then too. I think 5 years of yelling and talking all the time is... of continuing... movies and TV shows that just keep going broke and getting woke, and they don't seem to be learning from anybody else that has also done that. So we've got the new Charlie's Angels movie. We've got the Terminator. Let me pause that for a second. I flash these up on screen, but now I read these out because a lot of people just listen. This is the pro-feminist Terminator Dark Fate bombs in theaters as public rejects woke entertainment. This is an article written November 3rd, 2019. Almost 5 years later, and no differences yet. So we've got the new Charlie's Angels movie. We've got the Terminator Dark Fate movie. This is when I was still in my visiting my parents, building my school bus. This is Captain Marvel is a message movie without a message, which was crap. And Elizabeth Banks, the director, blames men for Charlie's Angels flopping with 8.6 domestically on a $50 million budget. It reinforces the stereotype in Hollywood that men don't go see women in action movies. And then, of course, I pull up the usual things like Aliens and all the other ones that have really good female actors. And blames men. Let me just fast forward this just a little bit. I read about different stories on the web, when I see TV shows, when you look at a Gillette commercial that calls men toxic, all we get fed over and over and over again is toxic masculinity, toxic masculinity, toxic masculinity. It's forced down our throats.
Oh, that hasn't changed very much, has it?
When it's now time to go see a movie, and these are advertised as a feminist, empowering woman movie, do you think me or anyone is going to force up between $12 and $15 just for you alone, not including popcorn and food and everything else? Do you think they're going to pay $15 to go in and get more of the rubbing it in our faces about feminism?
As a critical drinker likes to call it, the message.
Let me forward here a little bit. Charlie's Angels director Elizabeth Banks blames men for box office failure nearly a week before the film even hit the theaters. I also want you to think about what's common in all of these things, okay? And I'll share at the end. You ever seen the movie Alien or Aliens 2? Any of the Alien franchises? They're one of my favorite movies of all time.
Still true.
Right? Ripley, played by Sigourney Weaver. Okay, awesome horror movie. Halloween with Jamie Lee Curtis. Great horror movies. They're very strong female leads. Wonder Woman, the most recent Wonder Woman with Gal Gadot, right? That was a great movie. The Hunger Games. I forget the actress's name in that. Kill Bill, right? La Femme Nikita. Mad Max with Fury Road. Terminator 2. Lucy, and also Under Her Skin by
Scarlett Johansson. I couldn't remember her name.
You can tell how good I am remembering names. Haywire, Resident Evil, Underworld. All these movies had really strong female leads. But there's also something else that's really important about them. None of those movies were ever done by men and remade into woman or into a female lead for a story or a feminist push, right? But if you look on the side where they're complaining that they're going woke and going broke and men aren't going to see them, there's also another really common thread in this.
Now, what I do is I read through, and they're all remakes that used to be men's movies, and now they're women. I'm going to stop there because you guys get the idea. So, how have things changed? Well, they haven't at all in 5 years. I think this is why box office is falling off. This is why more franchises are having to spend more and more money because they've padded the writer's room because they have all the DEI and they have to make sure that they have this written to include all the minorities and the characters and all the isms and the all the different groups in them. And so I pulled up two or three of the most recent stuff. And looking through it, I realized not a thing has changed. And this is why I think so many times I say I don't like, it's hard coming up with content because I've been there, done that, seen that. So when and again, this is a 5-year-old video now. And so when the Marvels came out, now you've got 3 lead, tough, exciting women. The men are clueless and stupid, easily defeated by the strong, brave, powerful women. No different than it was 5 years ago. And look at, now this was not rated well, by the way. 5.5 on Metacritic. And I forget what it was. This is on IMDb. Oh, IMDb is 5.5. Metacritic, I forget what it is, but it's about the same. And then I noticed as I was scrolling through this page, they have an awards page. This stupid movie won four awards and had 11 nominations for the Marvels. It's ridiculous. And the articles aren't any different either. From Cinemachina, I think. And I just literally typed in Marvel's misogyny and see what popped up. This is from February 8th of 2024. The Marvel's box office unfair treatment. When did I do this video? I think the original one was like November of 2019. So it's almost 5 years. The Marvel's box office unfair treatment, time to acknowledge the injustice. Was treated poorly because of misogyny and all the reasons we hate. It's ridiculous. Same thing here. Don't listen to the misogynists. The Marvels is a triumph. Okay. How did that age? And they were talking even back then about superhero fatigue, Marvel fatigue. And then Spider-Man, what was it? No Way Home, I think. That did great at the box office. The one I think it was No Way Home. The one with the 3 Spider-Men from every era. That did great. What about the most recent one? Deadpool versus Wolverine, breaking records because it's rated R. but still having a great release. What's changed? Nothing. Everything's exactly the same. Even watching this video, I kind of surprised myself because, yes, other than having a beautiful golden tan from the Florida sunshine and my beard looking fuller and more red and me being thinner, nothing else has changed. It's the same stupidity. And then I happened to look up the Rings of Power. Misogyny in Middle-earth. The Rings of Power reworked narrative faces fan backlash because they had a Mary Sue in it. Just like the Mary Sues they had in the movies I was reviewing back in that video. And then when we clip in forward here a little bit, the Acolyte. This is literally a month ago. The gayness of the Acolyte and the unraveling fragile masculinity. Nothing's changed. Nothing's different. They're still blaming men. They'll say, this isn't for you. Also, why didn't you come see it? Nothing's changed. Now, I think a lot has changed in the fact that this has all gone mainstream. And now you've got, other YouTubers like the Nerdrotic and Critical Drinker. Those guys are nearing 1 million subscribers, which is amazing. That's awesome. And people, and they roast this stuff. Same thing with Jeremy over at The Quartering. Now they're roasting this stuff. Now, were they roasting this stuff back in the day? I don't know, because I was calling it out because it always kept shaming men and putting us in the bad light. I don't know if they were calling it out or just saying it's a bad movie. I didn't go back and check their older stuff. But as I read this, it just goes to prove to me that in many, many different areas, the women, the feminists, these leftists, the directors, the movie producers, the showrunners, the writers, the actors and actresses, it's all the same. They never learn. They can't learn. The message is more important than the money until the money runs out. Now, as you guys know, or at least if you've been keeping up with the news, such as over on Odd Man Out, my news channel, I talked about this today, how markets are falling off. The Bitcoin and the other stuff are falling off. How markets globally are falling off. We're going to see if there's any more money to put into these dead-end projects real quick. Because the free borrowing of money ran out here in the United States a long time ago. But come to find out, what these companies and many others may have been doing is borrowing yen, the Japanese currency yen, because that had a 0% interest rate. So they were doing a cash exchange, or getting loans, I should say, would be more accurate, in yen that they had to pay 0% interest on. They'd convert it to US dollars and then use it for projects and investments over here. And we're going to see now that the yen may be going up, its interest rate may be going up, that free money may be running out. Because it's not, I was always thinking of this in a U.S. economy, which is, well, our interest rates are so high. How can they keep afford to be putting out these horrible movies and doing this stuff? And come to find, it turns out that they were probably borrowing the money in yen and then converting it, because the yen was very weak up against the dollar, so they could convert it. And to repay the loan, well, the yen was at a 0% interest rate. So they've still been doing it, even though our interest rate here in the States is high. My guess is that's what they were doing. That's how they were still getting the money to throw away on these projects. And if that's the case, I think we're going to see a change very, very soon. But it is disheartening to see how far we've come and also how little we've come at the same time. And no wonder I feel like I'm doing the same stories all the time, because I am. They haven't learned anything. Nothing's changed. Now I'm going to pick some other older videos in my lineup and review them a little bit, whether it's marriage statistics or dating or whatever. We're going to compare them to what's going on today and see if there's anything different. Because that way, instead of comparing, reading the same statistic for the zillionth time, I'll see if we've made any progress. I think that could actually be interesting. As I mentioned, guys, make sure to join me on Odd Man Out if you want some news. I'm doing live streams every day on Rumble and Locals every single day. I'm getting quite a few views between my news channel and my Rumble and locals. I'm probably getting, I don't know, 50 to 100,000 views. So it is, it is becoming very quickly a very fun and interesting project for me. I hope you'll pop over and check it out. Links are down below as always, and I'll see you in the next one.